Hello everyone, welcome to GDSC CVRGU Info Session 2022. Let's see the views count. It's 25. Let's wait for a few more minutes to increase the count. So guys, let's start for today's event. That is Info Session 2022. Here comes the ground rule for today's event. That is, use the chat box for any type of query, but please don't spam now. And there's an issue with the chat box right now. We are trying to fix it out, and we will be having an FAQ session at the end of this live session. There, we will be discussing all your queries. And if any type of audio or video issue, you can use the chat box for and let us know so that we can fix it out. So here is today's agenda. First of all, we will be discussing about the Google Developer Student Club. What is it? And then we will be talking about the different domains as well, their pathway, their session, their upcoming events, as well as the resources. And the end, we will be clearing all your doubts. Here comes how GDSC works. GDSC is a community from Google in every college or university, which, which basically work on the interest student interested in Google technology. It's being used to connect with the like-minded people. With the help of GDSC, we get a chance to get certified from Google as well. We get a chance to get goodies. As last year we got Google Cloud, goodies from Google Cloud as well Hacktoberfest. Are you guys excited for this event? Are you guys excited for this year too? And the last one, GDS is the platform which give the chance to explore as well find your path towards your career in your particular domain. Here comes the agenda of GDSC. GDSC is the bridge between the theory and practical knowledge. It bridges the gaps between the theory and practical knowledge as the university or the colleges basically works on the theory knowledge. But when we come up, when we come up with the different labs that Google provide, we can fill that gap with the practical knowledge as well. I think Gaurav will continue.
Hello everyone. So, good evening CGU. This is Gaurav Kumar and I am the technical lead of GDSC CVRGU for this year. The official motto of GDSC is Learn, Connect and Grow. GDSC provides a platform for the students to learn plethora of new skills through hands-on workshops and interactive sessions. It is a great platform for the students across colleges to connect with their peers. We can grow together with the community by learning new skills and advance our career and network. You can also give back to the community and help others learn too. Now, let me tell you about the events conducted last year. The very first event was the info session for that tenure. Then we had Android Study Jams, which is designed by Google for the community to learn how to build Android apps. We had Hacktober Fest in collaboration with three other colleges, and it was a great event. Then, 30 Days of Google Cloud was also conducted by Google, where many students from our college got goodies from Google. Next, we had Wonder with Web, that was a website building challenge by GDSC CVRGU. In collaboration with Coding Ninjas, we had Code Case 22, Code Compile Compete, and IICC. Flutter Festival also an event from Google where we learned about the fundamentals of Google technologies with hands-on workshops and interactive sessions with Flutter and Firebase. A CTF was conducted by our club for the cybersecurity domain. It was a 3-day event with interactive sessions and hands-on workshops. Apart from these, we had a great grand coding contest with cash prizes worth rupees 10 lakhs. And also, we had a coding contest in collaboration with Newton School with a prize pool of 30,000 rupees. Now, Harshit will continue with the introduction of our faculty advisor and the core team for this tenure. Over to you, Harshit.
So, hello everyone. So, here we have our faculty advisor, Miss Monalisha Mishra ma'am, who has always been a constant supporter and backbone for us. So, now let's move on with the introduction of our core team. So, first of all, here comes the GDSC lead of tenure 2022-2023, Ankit Kumar. And then there is Gaurav Kumar as technical lead. And now we have Harshit as management lead, Venkat as manager, and Subham as management co-lead. Now we have Tanmesh and Firoz as web development lead with Vikrant and Saurav as co-lead. Then comes Tanuj as Android lead with Tanveer as co-lead. Now let's move on to machine learning. In machine learning, we have Vishwajit and Bishakha as lead and Rishabh as co-lead. Then we have Tanisha as competitive coding lead. So now we have cybersecurity domain in which Ayush is lead, and Sandeep and Aditya are co-lead. And finally, here we have Rohan as graphics lead, with Sanchali as co-lead as and Divya as content writing and lead, accompanied by Ratsu as content creator. And now we will be having some fun quiz questions, which Gaurav will move on with this.
Hello again, guys. As we are facing some issues with the chat, we will continue with the introduction to different domains. Now, Tanmesh will take over and introduce to the web development domain. Over to you, Tanmesh. Just a minute, Tanmesh. I think live chat is back. Guys, please comment to give us a thumbs up and make sure the live chat is working. Give us a thumbs up and make sure that. Yeah, I think the live chat is working now. Okay, so let's start with the fun session. Here I'll be asking you some questions and you can give your answer in the chat box. So let's begin. The very first question is, how many events were organized by GDSC CVRGU last year? We had a glimpse of the events few minutes back. So shoot the answers in your chat box. So Shreya is saying 13. Any other answers? Okay, 13 from Swati Priya, 13 from Harshit. Tanuj says 11. That's very close. 12. So we are getting many answers. Guys, the correct answer is 13. And let's move on with the next one. In the 21st century, everyone uses social media. So let's hear from you which social media platform you mostly use, whether it's WhatsApp, Facebook, or Instagram, or any other social media. Okay, Riddhi is saying Insta, WhatsApp, Instagram. Okay, so most of you are using Instagram and WhatsApp. Rashu is using Twitter. Kisle is also using Twitter. Oh, Tinder. I don't think that's a social media platform, Naveen. Twitter, Discord, yes. Instagram, LinkedIn, yeah, LinkedIn, Snapchat. Okay. Discord. All right, guys. Now let's come up with a fun question. What is your favorite TV series? You can answer in the chat box. Come on. My personal favorite is Game of Thrones. Okay, TMKOC, Friends, Doraemon. Okay, that's also acceptable. Silicon Valley, Breaking Bad, Vampire Diaries. Okay, dark. K drama, yeah, that's very good. GOT, I think I've got a friend here. Tarak Mehta Ka Ulta Chashma. No, everyone likes that. Man vs. Wild. Chota Bheem. Okay, everyone has their choices. Okay. So, now here comes the last question for this session. What is your favorite programming language? I personally prefer JavaScript and C++. So, please feel free to answer with your favorite programming languages. C++, Java, Python, CPP, Kisle is using C, Ria is using Java, Soumyaranjan is using Python. Harsh is using V. Okay, Bhai Lang. Okay, you remember that? That's very good one. Java. All right, guys. Now one more question from my side. Have you chosen your domain yet? Please answer with a yes or no. Whether you are going to continue in web development, in Android development, please feel free to answer. Yes, Tanuj says yes. Any other answers? No, no. Okay, so some are saying yes, some are saying no. So whether you have chosen your domain or not, it doesn't matter. Let us introduce you to the different domains. Now, Tanmesh will take over and introduce us the web development domain. Now, over to you, Tanmesh.
Yeah. So, hello, future developers. This is Tanmesh, the lead for the web development domain from third year CSE. Along with me, I have Feroz, who is also the lead for this domain, as well as we have Vikrant and Saurav as the co-leads for this domain. Now, we will be explaining the whole roadmap towards learning web development from scratch. So, let's start the info session with one of the most interesting and trending domain where the whole internet resides, that is the web development domain. So, coming up to the web development, it is the technical skill to develop amazing websites for the internet. This skill helps to develop and operate multiple websites. Web dev consists of multiple languages and frameworks to be built with. This is a skill that is easy to gear up soon in the development field. Developing a good hands on experience over the web development can help you develop amazing projects that you can showcase in your resume and get ahead in your career easily. This domain makes you eligible for internships at MNCs as well as successful freelancing. The recorded average web developer salary lies between 3 to 4 LPA. With a good hands-on experience and with good skills, you can easily drag up to 18 lakhs per annum. That's really good. So the next slide, please. So now, discussing the roadmap of learning web development or making a career in it. Being a new learner, you should go with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript definitely. Then, after with a good scratch experience, you can start using Bootstrap frameworks for your front end development. Now, diving deeper, you will come across with jQuery, document object model, JSON, etc. The above mentioned technologies that are the core ones that you can't skip, but now you have an option to choose your framework that you want to go with. And here lies the most famous one, that is the React.js, developed by Facebook, or AngularJS, that was developed by Google. Both are really good in the market and they are really good to start with. You can also go with Vue.js. You have another option. Everything I discussed above were the technologies and frameworks required to develop the front end of a website. But on a higher scale, you will definitely need the back end of your website that would act as a server for your website or to handle the traffic or the database of the users. Let it be the credentials or the website data. You definitely need a good backend. So, coming up to the backend development roadmap, even here you have multiple combinations of frameworks and databases, trial and tested by web experts to go with. Firstly, you have the Python plus Django, or Java plus Spring, Node.js plus Express, or the old school PHP plus MySQL. These are basically four different backend combos with multiple programming languages. Like if you are good with Python, then you can definitely go with Django, as you are already good in programming with Python. Or if that's Java, then it's your preferred language in programming, then you can definitely use Spring Boot to go further in it. That would be an easy step to get ahead. Now, coming up to the two most famous databases, that is the MongoDB and the MySQL database. These are the two most recommended databases for the web developers as they have been consistently performing well in the market. Then finally comes you have two different combinational sets, that is the mean stack or the MERN stack. Whereas basically the mean stack is the MongoDB, ExpressJS, AngularJS, and Node.js. So these are the four technologies that you can use together as a combination to develop a good website. Or you also have the MERN stack, which stands for the MongoDB, ExpressJS, React.js, or Node.js. So this is another most famous combinational set that you can use to develop websites. You have two amazing web building combinations to move ahead in your journey of development. Now, I would like to call Feroz to explain more about the upcoming events throughout this academic year. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Firoz Hussain and I have been selected as the GDSC Web Development Lead. So, are you excited about the upcoming event of the web development? The GDSC Web Development team is bringing some exciting events and the competition. So, we are going to organize event is the Web Development Info section, which is going to be held in September. This will be an introductory web workshop where we will introducing languages, framework, career path, and many other important terms of the web development. Next slide. So our second event is an API workshop, which is going to be held on February 23rd. This event explains what is an API, why API is important in real life, and how to implement an API in our code. So one competition is there. Are you excited for this, guys? And that is the CSS battle, which is going to be held in the first week of November. This would be a competition where students would need to battle their CSS skill on a certified platform. Thank you. Now, Vikrant is here to tell you about the web development resources.
Hello everyone, this is Vikrant. When compared to domains such as cybersecurity or Android development, getting started in web development is relatively simple. Let us have a look at some resources that can help you on your way. So in general, web development resources can be divided into two categories, free and paid. To begin, we recommend that beginners start with YouTube channels to get a basic understanding because they are a great free resource. Then there are also documentation websites like Mozilla Web Docs and W3 Schools that provide you with detailed information about everything you need. You can also take up free courses on Udemy as well as paid ones on Udacity, Geeks for Geeks, and Coding Ninjas to enhance and nurture your skills. These courses, in addition to providing essential knowledge, are a great way to earn certifications. Let us now move on to Tanmesh Bhaiya, who will be taking a little quiz.
So, hello again, Tanmesh here. We have a small quiz here on the basics of web development. So, let's see how good are you at this. So, the questions, please. Yeah. So, here comes the first question, that is, which one is not a closing tag in HTML? So let's show the options. So the first option is the BR tag, the body tag, then UL tag, then the LI tag. So answer them in the comment section. Okay, we can clearly see that there are many good learners. Yeah, good going. There is no particular one being right. Maximum of them are totally right. It is the BR tag. Okay, so finally, as you know, the right answer is the BR tag. It is basically an empty tag as it does not have any closing tags. So that's great. Now, coming up to the second question, in a postfix expression, the operators come after the operand. So answer if it's true or not. It's not just a web development question, but it's also related to basic programming. So we have a lightning speed answers over the comment box. That's really going good. So yes, without much wasting much time, yes, it is true. In any computer programming language, in a postfix expression, the operator always comes after the operand, whereas in a prefix expression, the operators come before the operand. So that's it for web dev. We hope we see you all in an upcoming event soon. Now I would call up Tanisha to take over.
Good evening, folks. I'm Tanisha Verma, pre-final year CS undergrad. For the year 2022 to 23, I will be serving as lead for competitive programming at GDSC CGU. So when you enter computer science, your whole universe revolves around coding. It depends on you which field you go to. Hence, I found competitive programming to be my field of interest. If you are a programmer, you might have understood the deep meanings of lines said by Steve Jobs, and I quote, that you even after shutting down your computer, you keep on thinking about programming stuffs or code that you have written on your project. Once you enter in programming, you just don't learn how to code, but also learn the art of thinking by breaking your codes into smaller chunks and then using your logic based creativity to solve a problem from different angles. If programming is fun, programming is an exercise for your brain. Programming is also a mental sport, a sport that is held over the internet, and hence it's a sport for programmers. What are the perks of competitive programming? Makes you a desirable candidate for major product based companies, and hence this is the goal we are all working for. You get a lot of goodies over all the sites you perform for competitive programming. We have planned some upcoming events for this year. So the first event would be a pathway session. As this is our introduction session, we have time limit. So there's a lot more you need to know about competitive programming before you start. So we'll bring an expert from a big MNC to guide you the community and provide a valuable insight about the domain and help you follow their road path and get into a good company. The other one would be a coding challenge, which will be a day long challenge with two rounds. The first would be a screening round, and the second would ultimately decide who's the best coder. The dates are not fixed yet, but we'll be announcing it soon. So, for the roadmap of competitive programming, it's quite very simple. I already said what is competitive programming. So, after you know what is competitive programming, you need to choose a language. Choosing a programming language is very difficult task. It can be anything like C, C++, Java, Python. Basically, Python is a fancy language. We do prefer C++ and Java more over Python and other languages. Programming languages are a tool through which we can communicate with the computer and instruct what to do. So Java is a faster programming language in comparison to any other. So after you choose your language, you need to know what topics you have to learn in competitive programming. So there's a difference between competitive programming and coding. What is coding? Let me give you an example. You learn differentiation, calculus, and these things in your maths class, but you never know where to apply it. So this is application where architectural engineers use. So this is this is how competitive programming works. You learn the coding things, you learn the concepts of coding, and then you apply the chunks of coding to a problem statement. And competitive programming consists of real time questions where you apply your knowledge, whatever you have learned in your theory or practice wise, anything. The next would be topics to learn. Yeah, the competitive programming, you have to learn about time complexity, space complexity. You need to compromise the time as you're given time limit for each problem to execute. The next would be platform and resources. There are a huge lot of platforms where you can solve your problems. Can we go to the next slide, please? Yeah. So basically, when you start, you go for written tutorials. So Geeks for Geeks is a universal for every engineers. So Geeks for Geeks provides the best written things. Even that's a platform where you can practice. The next would be Code Forces. Code Forces blogs, yeah, of course, and Wikipedia. So when you start competitive programming, it's not taught in your colleges. You have to learn and grow skills on your own. So you prefer YouTube channels, right? So there are many good YouTube channels. Like I prefer Take You Forward. He's he's my personal favorite, and there are many others. You can just scroll through YouTube, and we'll be telling all this in our first intro section. That would be for competitive programming separately. So paid courses are also available on Coding Ninjas and different platforms. Meanwhile, you can code and practice on different sources like Codeforce, CodeChef, Top Coder, SPOJ, and these other sites which help you build the confidence and get out of your comfort zone and gradually try to solve the complex problems. This is it. Thank you, everyone.
Well, hello everyone. I am S. Aditya, your cybersecurity co-lead. Well, hello everyone. I am S. Aditya of your cybersecurity co-lead, and now here I am going to take you to a quick journey of cybersecurity domain. As you might be very familiar and very renowned what this domain is all about. It's about practicing defense and computer servers. But it's not just only a defense mechanism, it's also a mechanism to understand how the things are broken and shown to everyone. Implementations are the way more than you can ever imagine. Like every big companies needs this field and specialist of this field because in this country even we have various programs running like antiviruses, a malware functioning program which could attack or defend, but then even a security analyst and a specialist is very much required because that is the one who could understand those programs and even could understand how hackers will be thinking and what could be the counterceptive for them. Thus, it's a very demanding field, and you would be amazed to know a fresher can get up to 7 to 8 LPA if he has a good amount of knowledge. And this salary ranges from 5 to 40 LPA. Companies like IBM, McAfee, FreeEye, etc. pays the highest among all these. Now, coming to the roadmap part, it's very simple yet unique. You need to have a study and limited resource to understand because there are various things available on the internet that you might be scrolling through, but there is also an importance that you need to follow a sequence. Like in my opinion, you should go with networking part. You should understand how network work, how the various topologies are, how you could understand what the ports are being used. Then you should also move your shift to Linux basics, because when it comes to basics of Linux, it's very important for all of you, as you might be familiar, because it's an operating system where you get the full access of your device, of its capabilities, and you can also access various ports which are not available using some regular operating systems like Windows. Then it's also very important to learn bash scripting. You might have a question that why we are asking for bash? If I'm very much familiar with the Linux basics, then do I need bash? Yes, my friend, you need bash, because when you are interacting with other devices, most of them are not based on Linux. They are using Windows and other similar devices. Thus, you need to know the language in which those operating systems are written and the executable files are made. Then coming to the next, we also have to understand virtualizations part, because virtualization is a thing which you will be dealing with a lot when you're playing with networks, because you have to model a train and and the similar type at simultaneously you have to composite different machines on same server. Then it becomes very important. Now, coming to another part is the network pen testing part. Do you know why it is important? If you have learned all these, then you need to understand where to practice it. Thus, network pen testing will allow you to gain knowledge on how you can exploit networks and how you can see through that what others are doing and how you can prevent that some other user who is not authorized to do that should not be able to do that. Now, coming to the next part, it's very much important as till now everything what you were doing is all about learning, but here it is about practicing thing. So the websites like Try Hack Me, Pentester Lab, Portswigger, Webster Lab, and Hack the Box, these are some of the few basic golden website that you should follow so that you could get a glimpse of it and improve your skills day by day. Coming to CTF, these are one of the most important, believe me or not. If you're starting your career as a security specialist, then CTFs will help you a lot. Now, moving forward, we are planning some various important sessions. Like first, we'll be having our info sessions. This was even an info session, but we have a limited time frame. So we'll definitely be organizing an event where we'll be dealing with cybersecurity and only its complexities and how you can work and learn upon them. Then another event would be regarding your CTF challenges. There's a probable date of end week of January, because at that time you might would have learned something, you might would have gained knowledge, you might would have understand how CTFs will be working. So that's why we are planning it on a bit January time of things, because at that time we hope that most of you will be free. Now, at the next, I also want to provide you some of the resources, because if even if you wish to gain knowledge, acquire knowledge about the things what we are trying to suggest, then resources comes very handy. In the resources part, I want to mention about networking. You could definitely refer to a channel which I also refer, is about network chunks. That man on that channel is giving a very brief and very comprised idea about how the things are working and how you need to understand them according to your needs. And the other programming languages which are not specifically oriented to programming but to the cybersecurity domains are like bit and tech. That's even a very important knowledge. Then we have freecodecamp.org. That's very important. You can refer it for your Linux basics. And for CTFs, my favorite is John. You could believe him, the way he speaks and the way he delivers content, various things about tools and other stuffs would be very helpful for you. That's all from my side. I hope cybersecurity domain would have interested you a bit. That's all. I hope I'll be seeing you all in the info session of the cybersecurity. Thank you.
Hello everyone. I am Tanuj Kumar. I am here as a Android lead for this session 2022-23. I am here and throughout this session I will be guiding you for developing Android apps. So what is Android development means? It is not basically that we are guiding you to develop an operating system of Android. Some of you may be confused of this. But it actually means that we are developing a mobile application which can only be executed on Android platform. So we will guide you how to create app from the scratch level to the intermediate, then to the expert level. We will also guide you how to manage databases like Firebase. We will give different types of projects throughout the sessions, and we will also provide you some internships links that you can go through that. The main question is why to learn Android development. So for this, my colleague will be interacting with you all. Tanir, where you can go ahead. So there may be problem from my colleague side. So why to learn Android development? This is the very good questions that many of you will be thinking of. As Android is a coming a great platform, Google is providing a great platform for the Android developers. There are approx 80% of the developers are interacting with Android. Companies are going towards Android development. So the demand of the Android development applications are increasing day by day. It's a open source development, so you can customize whatever you created or whatever have been created. You can clone that or you can improve their apps. There are a large community of Android, so you can also join those community, get to learn, and also make more things. Next thing is the roadmaps, how to start and from where to start the Android development. So the basic thing is how to start and where to start. As we code on different platforms like VS Code, C++ in our college times in first year or second year. But for the Android coding, the IDE are used are Android Studio, Eclipse. Also, you can use VS Code. And the languages. What are the languages we are going to use? The languages can be used Kotlin, Java, or C++. Here is an important point that the language Kotlin is highly preferable by Google to use. Why the Kotlin is preferable to use? It's because it's a faster language. It's coming in the it's developing day by day. So it's a short code also as compared to Java. And also you can use different types of frameworks like Flutter, React Native. Flutter is also very much emphasized by the Googles. The Flutter festivals will be coming in this session. After that, what are the databases we will be using? That we should extract the data of the persons or anyone, that will be using Firebase. And you can also use Node.js or SQL for importing database. So from where you should learn? What are the resources? So there are various types of resources which are available, free or paid. But the best resource is always from the developer side. The Google developer itself has provided its official documentation on Kotlin, also on Java. But nowadays, Google is only focusing on Kotlin. And you can also use different types of UIs like JetCompose in your applications to make your apps interactive. You can also, the Google developers have made videos and have posted on YouTube Also, they have the same videos as posted on Udemy or Udacity as a paid course. Or you can also get courses from the developers expert from Udemy or Code Academy. So guys, you will be thinking of that. What are the events the Android team is going to be conducted? So don't leave. Be with us. Within this info session, we will be saying you that what are the sessions and when we are going to start. So be a stick.
Good evening, everyone. I am Viswajit Kumar, a third year BTech student at CGO Odisha, and I am holding the current machine learning lead position for the academic session 2022 to 2023. And there are one more lead, Visakha, and one more co-lead, Rishabh. As we all know, in this 21st century, our generation want to give less time and gain more output from it. And from this machine learning, it is a very good approach in software field for future prediction. We need to we need to learn machine learning because human have limitations in terms of computational efficiency. Actually, machine learning is a branch of artificial intelligence that enables computers to self-learn from training data and improve our time. In general, what we call machine learning is a program that learns from past experiences. We are applying machine learning approaches in various fields like self-driving vehicles, stock marketing, fake news analysis, detection, and many more. As we know, our country becomes world fifth largest economy, and that's why day by day the demand of this field is increasing in very fastly. Hence, we say that machine learning field gives a lots of opportunity in career build up with a very good amount of package. That's it from my side, and remaining parts how and where we have to learn machine learning is going to describe by my another colleagues Bisakha.
Good evening, guys. So, guys, you must have many questions like where to start, what should be the plan of action, where should you get all the materials, and etc. etc. Let me help you with that. Basically, ML programmers learn ML for two purposes. First, for making products, and secondly, for R&D purposes. The so-called research paper, if you want to build products like new technologies, new tools, you must be going through basic mathematics. The deep derivations to know is not much important. And for R&D purpose, you need to have a good clarity on the derivations and the theorems as well. And for language sector, you need to have learn the Python and R as per your preference you would like. And some of its famous libraries like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib for statistical analysis. With this, now you are ready to be the pillars of the Big Bull ML. Let me tell you one thing. The machine learning is basically di- divided in three broad categories. Supervised learning, in which the machine learn from its labeled data. Secondly, the unsupervised learning, where the machine learn from its unlabeled data. And lastly, the reinforcement learning, where the machine learn from its reward based system. You must go through this thoroughly to be a good ML programmer. And the rest are some demanded algorithms like KNN, ANN, CNN, and etc. Here I am mentioning you all this so that in future if you go through any of the playlist you must check these contents are there or not. So coming towards the resources sector, let me help you a little more with that. Can we have the slide change? Yeah. Now it's high time to know where can you get these steps. You can get this either in free or paid versions. In free sector, you have your YouTube channels and documentations like W3 School, Gigs for Gigs, and one of my favorite, Scikit-Learn, which is very good website for the statistical analysis. Moving towards the paid ones, you have your Udemy, and Coding Ninjas were offering you the best courses at reasonable prices, which is highly recommendable. And guys, One good news for you all, soon we are planning an event for you all. Be ready and stay tuned. So that's all for now. Thank you for being with me. Now I call Sanchali to continue with graphic design.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sanchali Srivastav, co lead of graphic design and video editing. I will be discussing the upcoming editorial events. Firstly, let's discuss what exactly our domain is. The graphic design produces visual ideas and a creative template for advertising and publicity in publishing information. An sorry, an editorial is basically an article meant to influence public opinion and promote critical thinking. Coming to this year's event, for the first time, GDSC CVRGU will be launching an annual GDSC magazine, which will be an assortment of digital arts and articles. These works will be collected every 2 months, and the best of three of them will be featured in the magazine. This event will provide an opportunity for our community to get hands on at the content writing and sliding in some best digital artwork. The motto for this event is a keyboard clicks makes million think. Thank you so much.
Hello guys. So, how is the juice among you people? Just comment down in the chat box. Oh, I can see that. Hi, hi, with the emojis. Okay. So let's move forward with the next event that we will be having soon. The next event is Android Study Jam. We will be starting this event from next week onwards only, and we will be starting the Android from the scratch, and we will most probably having a 2 session per week, and this is this will be on the documentation provided by the Google. Okay. Here comes the main objective how GDSC works behind the scene. There is a core team that designed the event, and the management team used to implement that, and the media and creativity team that used to promote, and the developer and the student team, speaker team that used to take the session for any type of events. Here comes the most important, the FAQs, the query part. If you have any type of query, feel free to ask in the chat box. We are here to answer all your queries. बोलो.
Come on, guys. If you have any queries, please use the chat box and ask away. Come on, we are here to answer you. Okay, so is cyber computing difficult? I don't feel anything is difficult. Uh, yeah, we will provide you some roadmaps, and you will be getting the ideas. Okay, so certification and goodies will be provided for some of the events. Uh, Not all events come with goodies, but certification will be surely provided for all the events. So stay tuned with us. Any other questions? So cyber security and ethical hacking, there is some difference, but I think I'm not the right person to answer it. Let me ask my cybersecurity lead. He will answer that question very nicely. Any other questions? Feel free to ask the queries, guys. Is AI same like ML? Just now in the info session, our lead
No,
explained that AI is a part of ML. Okay, Vishrit, you take care.
no. Actually, AI is a main field, and ML is a subset of AI.
So about offline events, we'll be trying our best to conduct offline events. Uh, Stay tuned. We'll let you know about that. Uh, See, some courses are provided by Google, like the Android Study Jams, the 30 days of Google Cloud. They are the events conducted by Google. But there will be some competitions by our side also. All right, guys. Any other questions? Please feel free to ask.
Yeah, Swagat is asking that the courses are provided by Google or we create that. So Swagat, it's only created by Google. The Developers Club creates these all things. Whatever the fests are being conducted are given by Google, and the thing which we are conducting, we will provide you the guidance. But what are the documentations, whether it is provided by Google or we provide that will be mentioned to you in the first ongoing.
Well, there was a query about cybersecurity. So I want to mention that cybersecurity as a whole is a very huge domain. When it comes to only about ethical hacking, then it's just a subset of it. I hope I was clear. And there are when you come to cybersecurity as a whole umbrella, then there are various things like malware analyst, even some ones who are like malware analyst and security analyst, network pen testers, SOCs. But when it's only about ethical hacking, then you refer to some group of people, those who are either working for a company or someone who is just who is just working in the defense mechanism part on the pen testing or entering of brute force on any other similar type of attacks.
Okay, there was a question on Android development that can we do with C++ programming language. So the thing is that Android is only programmed in Java or Kotlin, but it may be programmed in C++ also. It is only used when we create manually views. How to create views? We will be telling you in the Android Study Jam, which will be starting from next week.
There was a question from Swagat, I think, and its question is he is interested in web and AI both. So the thing is, both are a different field, but if you are interested, you can start learning both in the starting phase, and you can find the interest in further going in deep in that subject. Like web has a vast in backend part as well the framework part, and the AI is most interactive part for the facial expression and the most interactive part that nowadays has been used. So when you start learning, you will get to know which is your domain. Any more questions, guys? Please do fast. We are just take few more questions, then we will be wrapping up the session.
Okay, a question comes that how an Android app gets selected by Google Play. So, Sakshi, it is not the Google Play selects it. It's how that we create the apps and then push it to the Play Store. We push the apps to the Play Store. If the apps is not any containing wrong things, then it will be your apps will be available there and the users can download or use the apps. If your apps containing any abnormal things, then the app can be banned from the Play Store. So it is not the thing that any Google is selecting your apps.
Kumar Gaurav has
Well,
asked that is
yeah,
there
you had
any
a very
specific
good
learning
question,
path
Gaurav.
for cybersecurity?
It's a very, yeah, Gaurav had a good question like, which he raised. Like, is there any specific learning path for cybersecurity? Then, my friend, my answer is a clear no, because it's not like a domain associated with either software development, web development, or something like that. Because anyone can teach you how to make a stuff, right? But it's meant so, like it cannot be broken. Now, here in cybersecurity, you are trying to find loopholes, ways in which you could detect what are the vulnerabilities or what are the defects that manufacturer have made. So there cannot be a definite path to it. It's more about practicing and learning various different things, and even understanding how past people who has done something, what are their experiences, and how they have done the things. So it's more about learning stuffs by doing them.
You can also follow our roadmap and go with the whatever the resources we have provided you in the info session itself. So you can uh, reopen the video and iterate through the video, and you will find the resources and the roadmap as well.
So there is a question: Node.js versus Django, which is better? I think both are good. The one which is suitable for you, the concept which you understand easily, use that one.
Okay, there is again a question that what are the latest versions of Android and why their names inspired by sweet eatables? So if we see the names of the Android, then it's the developers mind that why they are using the sweet names. But now from the Android 10, the names of the sweets are not coming. And if we, I will say that for the latest version of Android, it's Android 13, which came last month itself, and it is in practice.
Event on blockchain. We will definitely trying to have an event on blockchain, and we are mainly focusing on every types of domain that we can do. We can have an event in our chapter in the coming year. So we will definitely taking care of the event on blockchain. And a question was there for how to create a digital art. There are different there are different apps to create a digital art. That is not a question related to a technology thing, means a coding thing, but also I'm answering to that. Random art promotes. There was an app, and there are different app you can search in Google, and you can find it to make the digital art over there. Guys, we want suggestion from your side. What type of event you want to be conducted from our side, GDSC CVRGU? Give us the suggestion in the chat box. We will be looking forward for conducting that event.
सूरज कुछ बोल नहीं रहा है। सूरज कुछ बोल के आए हैं।
That you wanted. The upcoming year.
So I guess there was a question from S. Karthik that how do we use models in Django? Hello.
Yes, Tanvesh, please answer that question.
Yeah. Actually, so to use the models in Django, like we need to make migrations that create the model. Okay, so we need to make perfect migrations that could create the model and that could map to a single database table. Now, like for the table you created, we can migrate the model. So all of the information could be uploaded to the model and that would be saved to Django. So mainly you need to make migrations. Okay.
So David is asking, can we use only Python for ML? David, there are some other languages that are used for ML, but Python is the most widely used language for machine learning. And so, guys, Do you have any suggestions for upcoming events? Please feel free to answer in the chat box. We are running out of time, so we'll wait for 20 seconds. Please give your answers.
So we are not getting any questions further. So we can wrap up the session. You can follow us on our social media platform of Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, as well as you can join our Discord group. You can ask any type of questions over there also, as well connect to me or any of the lead. You feel free to ask any of the questions as well as any of the suggestion you wanted. Thank you for joining the session. From For this, we wrap up the session. Stay tuned.